doing today? Are we doing well? Let me just change the music to something a bit relaxing. Today we will be reading The Witcher, and we have started it in the um previous stream. It seems interesting so far. We have a man called Foltas or something, and he's like, "Hey, can you turn my daughter back into a girl and release her from being this monster?" And the main character, whose name is Gerald, says, "You know what? Sure, I need the money." Um, and then there's other people, and I can't do summaries. There are other characters, like Astrid, who is trying to pay off the Witcher to not kill the girl, to give him more political prowess. And there are other people who want the girl dead because she is a danger, because she is a monster to all things. But yeah, I hope you enjoy the reading today. I am a bit out of it, so I do apologize for if I sound off in any way or that sort of thing. I am just very tired. And I'm a bit sick at the moment, so yeah. So thank you for liking Yori. I appreciate it. But yes, let's begin, shall we? I'll just have a little bit of water. Thank you. But yeah, I've had a headache all day and my glands are up and yeah, just generally been really out of it, resting and such. But yeah, I'll be fine. Let's start. Astrid quickly regained consciousness and looked around in the total darkness. He noticed that he was tied up. He did not see Geralt standing right beside him, but he realized where he was and let out a prolonged, terrifying howl. "Keep quiet," said the Witcher. "Otherwise you'll lure her out before her time." "You damned murder, where are you? Untie me immediately, you lass. You're lying for this, you son of a bitch." "Quiet." Ostrid panted heavily. "You're leaving me here to get devoured by a tied up," he said, quieter now, whispering a vile invective. "No," said the Witcher. "I'll let you go, but not now." "You scoundrel," hissed Ostrid. "To distract the Striga?" "Yes." Ostrid didn't say anything. He stopped wriggling and lay quietly. "Witcher?" "Yes." "It's true that I wanted to overthrow Foltest. I'm not the only one, but I am the only one who wanted him dead. I wanted him to die in agony, to go mad, to rot alive. Do you know why?" Gerald remained silent. "I loved Ada, the king's sister, the king's mistress, the king's trollop. I loved her. Witcher, are you there?" "I am." "I know what you're thinking, but it wasn't like that. Believe me, I didn't cast any spells. I don't know anything about magic. Only once at anchor did I say, only once, Witcher, are you listening?" "I am." "It's his mother, the old queen. It must have been her. She couldn't watch him, and Ada, it wasn't me. I only once, tried to persuade them, but Ada, the Witcher, I was besotted and said, 'Witcher? Was it me? Me?'" Meow, meow. Also, hi, Smile Edition. Hi, Ram. How you lovelies doing? We are reading The Witcher today, and I hope you enjoy. Meow, meow. It doesn't matter anymore. "Witcher? Is it nearly midnight?" "It's close." "Let me go, give me more time." "No." Ostrid did not hear the scrape of the tomb lid being moved aside, but the Witcher did. He leant over and with his dagger cut the magnate's bonds. Ostrid did not wait for the word. He jumped up, numb, hobbled clumsily and ran. His eyes had grown accustomed enough to the darkness for him to see his way from the main hall to the exit. Meow. Ren says, hope you're doing okay. I'm alright. I'm a bit sick though, so like my glands are up and I've had a headache all day, but it's alright. I'll be fine. You know, I'll live. Meow. The slab blocking the entrance to the crypt opened and fell to the floor with a thud. Gerald, prudently behind the staircase balustrade, saw the misshapen figure of the streaker speeding swiftly and unerringly in the direction of Ostred's receding footsteps. Not the slightest sound issued from the striker. A terrible, quivering, frenzied scream tore the night, shook the old walls, continued rising and falling, vibrating. The Witcher couldn't make out exactly how far away it was. His sharpened hearing deceived him, but he knew that the Starika had caught up with Ostrid quickly. Too quickly. He stepped into the middle of the hall, stood upright at the entrance to the crypt. He threw down his coat, twitched his shoulders, adjusted the position of his shoulders. I'm sorry, my eyes are spinning. Ren says, make sure to get plenty of rest and hydrate. Well, thank you, I will do. Let me have a little sip of water again. Also, if you only hear me, you only hear me going, so because I am changing from talking to chat and reading. Also, welcome, the real doctor. How are you doing today? Yes, we're reading The Witcher. Let's continue. Oh, wait, Kate's here. Hi, Kane. How you doing, lovely? Doing well? He still had some time. He knew that the Striga, although well fed after the last full moon, would not readily abandon Ostred's corpse. The heart and liver were, for her, valuable reserves of nutrition for the long periods spent in lethargic sleep. The Witcher waited. By his count, there were about 3 hours left until dawn. The cockerel's crow could only mislead him. Besides, there were probably no cockerels in the neighborhood. He heard her. She was trudging slowly, shuffling along the floor, and then he saw her. The description had been accurate. The disproportionately large head, set on a short neck, was surrounded by a tangled curly halo of reddish hair. Her eyes shone in the darkness like an animal's. The striker stood, motionless, her gaze fixed on Gerald. Suddenly, she opened her jaws, as if proud of her rows of pointed white teeth, and snapped them shut, with a crack like a chest being closed, and leapt, slashing at the Witcher with her bloodied claws. Oh, hi, Fuzzy Gamer. Hi, Harvard. How are you lovely doing today? Also, hi, Ryan. Yes, the Witcher. Also, do you want the scholarship? No, thank you. I'm very happy being a silly Gerber at home who reads all day. Screw the patients, we're listening to them instead. Trust the patients can live as well. Also, Kate, I always stream at the same time as around 6 p.m. British time. But all the details are in my Discord server. Alright. Also, I appreciate the sub. Thank you. Gerald jumped to the side, spun a swift pirouette. The striker rubbed against him, also spun around, slicing through the air with her talons. She didn't lose her balance and attacked anew, mid-spin, gnashing her teeth, fractions of an inch from Gerald's liver, from Gerald's chest. The Ryvian jumped away, changing the direction of his spin with a fluttering pirouette to confuse the striker. As he leapt away, he dealt a hard blow to the side of her head, with the silver spike studding the knuckles of his gauntlet. The striker roared horribly, filling the palace with a booming echo, fell to the ground, froze, and started to howl, hollowly and furiously. The Witcher smiled maliciously. His first attempt, as he has hoped, had gone well. Silver was fatal to the Striga, as it was for most monsters brought into existence through magic. So, there was a chance the beast was like the others, and that boded well for lifting the spell, while the silver sword would, as a last resort, assure his life. Hi, Nags. Hi, Mosa. How you lovelies doing? I'm doing well, thank you. Aside from feeling a bit sicky, streaming, reading always makes me feel a bit better, so yeah. I hope you guys are well. The Striga was in no hurry with her next attack. She approached slowly, baring her fangs, dribbling repulsively. Gerald backed away and carefully, placing his feet traced a semicircle. By slowing and quickening his movements, he distracted the Striga, making it difficult for her to leap. As he walked, the Witcher unwound a long, strong, silver chain, awaited at the end. The moment the Striga tensed and leapt, the chain whistled through the air, and coiling like a snake, twined itself around the monster's shoulders, the neck and head. The Striga's jump became a tumble, and she let out an ear-piercing whistle. She threshed around the floor, howling horribly, with fury or from the burning pain inflicted by the despised metal. Gerald was content. If he wanted, he could kill the Striga without great difficulty. But the Witcher did not draw his thought. Nothing in the Striga's behavior had given him reason to think she might be in an incurable case. Geralt moved to a safer distance, and without letting the writhing shape on the floor out of his sight, breathed deeply, focused himself. Hi, Kybus. We think too much and feel too little. I think it's the opposite for me. I think too little and feel too much. Fuzzy says, listening to this with headphones on his peak. Real? Real, real, real? Hi, Marza. Hi, Gambit. Hi, Cyber. How the lovely's doing? Cyber, no squats today, please. I am not feeling the best, so I'm finding it quite difficult to walk around. This book is called The Witcher. You might have heard of the game series or the television series. They are quite popular. Thank you for the water consume, Cyber. I appreciate it. Okay, water has been consumed. All right, let's continue. Cyber says, "Us is close to the 20s gone. Thank you for not suffering, making me suffer." Bessie says, "Oh, I've read that one. Oh, I'm sorry. You'll have to be reading it as well. Of course, I still, of course, I still know you, Mozart." Anyways, let's continue. The chain snapped. The silver link scattered like rain in all directions, ringing against the stone. The Striga, blind with fury, tumbled to the attack, roaring. Gerald waited calmly and, with his raised right hand, traced the sign of Ard in front of him. The Striga fell back as if hit by a mallet, but kept her feet, extended her talons, bared her fangs. Her hair stood on end and fluttered, as if she were walking against a fierce wind. With difficulty, one rasping step at a time, she slowly advanced. But she did advance. Gerald grew uneasy. He did not expect such a simple sign to paralyze the Striga entirely, but neither did he expect the beast to overcome it so easily. He could not hold the sign for long. It was too exhausting, and the Striga had no more than 10 steps to go. He lowered the sign suddenly and sprang aside. Meow, meow. My currency can be pounds, it can be US dollars, it could be anything really. Also, I apologize about the lag mic. My CPU has some struggles streaming, so if you hear any lag, I apologize if it ruins the experience or something. I don't think I will be playing GMP today. Like a long amount, maybe I might do a short amount of GMP. We'll see. We'll see a little bit. Maybe. Maybe when my throat starts hurting badly. But yeah, for now we'll be reading. Meow, meow. The stray cat, taken by surprise, flew forward, lost her balance, fell, slid along the floor, and tumbled down the stairs into the crypt's entrance, yawning in the floor. Her infernal scream reverberated from below. To gain time, Gerald jumped onto the stairs leading to the gallery. He had not even climbed halfway up when the streaker ran out of the crypt, speeding along like an enormous black spider. The Witcher waited until she had run up the stairs behind him, then leapt over the balustrade. The streaker turned on the stairs, sprang and flew at him in an amazing 10-meter leap. She did not let herself be deceived by his pirouettes. This time, twice her talons left their mark on the rivians of leather tunic. But another desperately hard blow from the silver, spiked gauntlet threw the streaker aside, shook her. Gerald, feeling the fury building inside him, swayed, bent backwards, and, with a mighty kick, knocked the beast off her legs. The roar she gave was louder than all the previous ones. Even the plaster crumpled from the ceiling. The streaker sprang up, shaking with uncontrolled anger and lust for murder. Gerald waited. He drew his sword, traced circles with it in the air, and skirted the streaker, taking care that the movement of his sword was not in rhythm with his steps. The streaker did not jump. She approached slowly, following the bright streak of the blade with her eyes. Gerald stopped abruptly, froze with his sword raised. The streaker, disconcerted, also stopped. The Witcher traced a slow semicircle with the blade, took a step in the streaker's direction, then another. Then he leapt, feigning a whirling movement with his sword above her head. Meow, meow. Fuzzy Gamer says, "Hope you feel better eventually. Me too. Thank you." Mazat says, 12 meters. Wait, the question is, what is the 12? What is the thing long 12 meters? The jump of the street was a 10-meter jump. That was the only time number incrementals were mentioned in this book. But the Striga, the monster that Gerald is fighting, jumped 10 meters in one jump thing. So hi, Likith. How are you doing today? Thank you. Soul says, why is Sin so gay? Women be hot. I don't know what to tell you. Anyways. Ben says, when did you learn to have that wonderful voice? Oh, I change it for stream. Normally, I'll be talking a bit more differently I might be talking like this, or sometimes I talk in a bit of a high pitch. Like, so often I talk in a really high pitch like this. But yeah, or I can speak really deep like this, but for reading, I change it, sound nice and relaxing. I just learned it actually. Can you say my name? I don't know if I can you. If I can. Licketh. Licketh? Licketh cup. Licketh. Also, hi, Moaz. How you doing, lovely? Doing well today? We are reading. I'm doing okay. I'm feeling a bit sick, but aside from that, I'm well, thank you. How are you doing? I hope you're well. Meow, meow. Well, let's say. Well, says, I'm doing good, but a bit tired and EP. Oh no. Just, it's okay. You can get some rest. Soul says, also, a stray cat is one of the more tame monsters in the Witcher universe. Oh, yikes. Oh, yikes. I look forward to seeing the other ones. Kuiper says, did you know you can be a voice tutor today? No, I would never want to support that shit with AI. I'm sorry, I do not want anything to do with AI. Why would I like my voice for its individuality? And if it would be like the worst shit ever to have it cloned by AI and people be saying things in my voice and calling like it's it's already really scary. I just no, I did. Money is not worth your identity. But yeah, no, I stay away from AI. Meow, meow. Gerald stopped abruptly, froze with his sword raised. The stray cat, disconcerted, also stopped. The Witcher traced a slow semicircle with the blade, took a step in the streaker's direction, then another. Then he leapt, feigning a whirling movement with his sword above her head. The streaker curled up, retreated in a zigzag. Gerald was close again, the blade shimmering in his hand. His eyes lit up with an ominous glow. A hoarse roar tore through his clenched teeth. The streaker backed away, pushed by the power of concentrated hatred, anger, and violence which emanated from the attacking man and struck her in waves, penetrating her mind and body. Terrified and pained by feelings unknown to her, she let out a thin, shaking squeak, turned on the spot, and ran off in a desperate, crazy escape down the dark tangle of the palace's corridors. Okay, Gerald. G- 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 Gerald. Gerald. Pronouncing things be hard, bro. By the way, with the story about hello, this story is about uh, this story is about, this story is about a man who has been tasked with turning a monster back into a girl because she was cursed at birth. Geralt. I don't know how to pronounce it, bro. I think I can do like a sort of. If I wanted to do an AI voice, I think I would talk like this. They always pronounce the verbs in a slightly. They always pronounce the vowels in a slightly different way. Things be sounding different when using a robotic type voice. What used to be 800? Premise stabilizing. Better be. It better be. I have like 200 saved for. Bro, what? Yori, where are you getting? Where it isn't? It's like it's still like 700 here for me. You sound like that one robot from Portal 2. I've never played Portal 2. What's it about? I'd love to hear about it. I'm just gonna call it Geralt. Geralt stood quivering in the middle of the hall, alone. It had taken a long time, he thought, before this dance on the edge of an abyss, this mad, macabre ballet of a fight, had achieved the desired effect, allowed him to psychically become one with his opponent, to reach the underlaying of concentrated will which permeated the striker, the evil, twisted will from which the striker was born. Oh yeah, thank you for the water. Sorry, I completely forgot. Mm. Do you know who Joshua Graham is? No, I don't. I'm sorry. I'm not good with names, especially. I love that. I love a say. Oh, you can do his voice, Kaivis. That's cool. I'd love to hear you do it. Where is I? The evil, twisted will from which the Striga was born. The Witcher shivered at the memory of taking on that evil to redirect it, as if in a mirror, against the monster. Never before had he come across such a concentration of hatred and murderous frenzy. not even from basilisks who enjoyed a ferocious reputation for it. All the better, he thought, as he walked towards the crypt entrance and the blackness that spread from it like an enormous puddle. All the better. Where was I? Thank you for liking, Wes. I appreciate it. Look, it's such a good content. It's such a what I fuck say. I stream on lots of different platforms, and I never have my view count showing for me, so that I'm never discouraged, you know? So thank you for the stretch. Let me stretch real quick. All the better, all the stronger was the blow received by the streaker. This would give him a little more time until the beast recovered from the shock. The Witcher doubted whether he could repeat such an effort. The elixirs were weakening, and it was still a long time until dawn. But the streaker could not return to her crypt before the first light, or all his trouble would come to nothing. He went down the stairs. The crypt was not large. There was room for 3 stone sarcophagi. The slab covering the first was half pushed aside. Geralt pushed the third vial from beneath his tunic, quickly drank its contents, and climbed into the tomb, and stretched out in it. And, as he had expected, it was a double tomb, a mother and daughter. He had only just pulled the cover closed when he heard the streaker's roar again. He lay on his back next to Ada's mummified corpse and traced the sign of Yrden on the inside of the slab. He laid his sword on his chest. Stood a tiny hourglass filled with fluorescent sand next to it, and crossed his arms. He no longer heard the streaker's screams as she searched the palace. He had eventually stopped hearing anything as the true love in Celandine began to work. Hi, Gobjobs. How you doing today, lovely? Also, Kuiper says, is there any character you would like to mimic or do an impression of? Um, there's this one character whose voice I absolutely love. I think her name is Meg, and she was the female character in the what do you call it? In Hercules. Has anyone ever seen the Disney Hercules? Bro, her voice, oh my gosh, I love it. 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 I adore her voice. Anyways, let's continue. When Geralt opened his eyes, the sand had passed through the hourglass, which meant his sleep had been even longer than he had intended. He pricked up his ears and heard nothing. His senses were now functioning normally. He took hold of his sword and, murmuring an incantation, ran his hand across the lid of the sarcophagus. He then moved the slab slightly, a couple of inches. Silence. Gobjob says, "Oh my gosh, yes, best Disney movie. It was a pretty darn good film, wasn't it?" He pushed the lid further, sat holding his weapon at the ready, and lifted his head above the tomb. The crypt was dark, but the Witcher knew that outside dawn was breaking. He struck a light, lit a miniature lamp, and lifted it, throwing strange shadows across the walls of the crypt. It was empty. He scrambled from the sarcophagus, aching, numb, cold. And then he saw her. She was lying on her back next to the tomb, unconscious. She was rather ugly, slim and dirty. Her hair, flaxen red, reached almost to her waist. Standing the lamp on the slab, he knelt beside her and leant over. Her lips were pale and her face was bloody where he had hit her cheekbone. Gerald removed his gloves, put his sword aside, and without any fuss, drew her top eyelid with his finger. Oh no, drew her top lip with his finger. Her teeth were normal. He reached for her hand, which was buried in her tangled hair. Before he took it, he saw her open eyes. Too late. She swiped him across the neck with her talons. cutting him deeply. Blood splashed onto her face. She howled, striking him in the eyes with her other hand. He fell on her, grabbing her by the wrists and nailing her to the floor. She gnashed her teeth, which were now too short. In front of his face, he butted her in the face with his forehead and pinned her down harder. She had lost her former strength. She could now only writhe beneath him, howling, spitting out blood. His blood, which was pouring over her mouth. His blood was draining away quickly. There was no time. The Witcher cursed and bit her hard on the neck, just below the ear. He dug his teeth in and clenched them until her inhuman howling became a thin, despairing scream, and then a choking sob, the cry of a hurt 14-year-old girl. He let her go when she stopped moving, got to his knees, tore a piece of canvas from his sleeve pocket, and pressed it to his neck. He felt for his sword, held the blade to the unconscious girl's throat, and leant over her hand. The nails were dirty, broken, bloodied, but normal. Completely normal. The Witcher got up with difficulty. The sticky, wet grayness of early morning was flooding in through the crypt's entrance. He made a move towards the stairs, but staggered and sat down heavily on the floor. Blood was pouring through the drenched canvas onto his hands, running down his sleeve. He unfastened his tunic, slit his shirt, tore and ripped rags from it, and tied them around his neck, knowing that he didn't have much time, that he would soon faint. He succeeded, and fainted. In Wyzim, beyond the lake, a cockerel, ruffling his feathers in the cold damp, crowed hoarsely for the third time. And that is the end of that section. Give me 1 second. I'm just gonna check something. I'm just checking if something's uploaded real quick. Unfortunately, have they loaded? Oh, they have. I don't know who's watching this on the clock app, but you can send little emojis there now. I managed to set it that. Uh, I managed to set that up, which is cool. Always cool to have that, eh? All right. Let's continue. He saw the whitened walls and beamed ceiling of the small chamber above the guardroom. He moved his head, grimacing with pain, and moaned. His neck was bandaged thickly, thoroughly, professionally. Meow. Cough says, I've lost it 2 chapters and I haven't figured out what it is we're reading. Oh, you can see it in the and you can see it in the stream title. We are reading The Witcher. You've probably heard of the game series or the television series, but we basically just started it. We're at 11% at the moment. Going through it slowly but surely. I hope you're enjoying it, Cough Drops. It's nice to see you. Meow. Lie still, Witcher, said Valorant. Lie, do not move. My sword. Yes, of course. What is most important is your witch's silver sword. It's here, don't worry. And both the sword and your little trunk and the 3,000 dollars. Yes, don't utter a word. It is I who am an old fool and you the wise witcher. Foltest has been repeating it over and over for the last 2 days. 2? Oh, yes, 2. She split your neck open quite thoroughly. One could see everything you have inside there. You lost a great deal of blood. Fortunately, we hurried to the palace, straight after the 3rd crowning of the cockerel. Nobody slept in Wyzim that night. It was impossible. You made terrible noise. Oh, does my talking tire you? The princess. The princess is like a princess, thin and somewhat dull-witted. She weeps incessantly and wets her bed, but Foltest says this will change. I don't think it will change the worse, do you, Gerald? The Witcher closed his eyes. Good. I will take my rest now. I tell I'm hoping. Um, good. Who is speaking here? The Witcher closed his eyes. Good, I take my leave now. Rest. Valero had got up. Geralt, before I go, tell me, why did you try to bite her to death? Hey, Gerald. The Witcher was asleep. The voice of reason. 2. Meow, meow. Kochov says, oh my gosh, of course, how did I not figure that out? Don't worry about it. I get brain blah, 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 sometimes. Plus, it's a lot easier to see, like, the actual stream than what do you call it? The title, yes. Oh, Kuiper says, Maguire from Hercules was voiced by Susan Aguirre. She was on a podcast with the voice actor, the voice actor makes podcasts with many other voice actors. Oh, that's cool. But yeah, I love her voice. She speaks in a deep, sort of unbothered tone like this. She's like, "Are you serious? Oh, you got that sort of thing, you know?" I love Meg Ire's voice. But yeah, it's difficult. Hi, Charlotte. How you doing? I'm doing all right, but quite sleepy. We are reading The Witcher. It's going well so far. The princess has turned back into a princess and is no longer a spooky, scary monster. I hope you enjoy the reading. Meow, meow. Gerald? Gerald? He raised his head, torn from sleep. The sun was already high and forced blinding gold rays through the shutters, penetrating the chamber with tentacles of light. The Witcher shaded his eyes with his hand in an unnecessary, instinctive reflex, which he had never managed to shake off. Meow, meow. Gomchov says, your voice is unmatched though. Oh, that's sweet. I don't know what pulse means. I'm sorry. Also, hi, Sinidson. Oh, that's a cool name. Sinidson. How are you doing? We have reading, so I hope you enjoy the reading today. Meow, meow. The Witcher shaded his eyes with his hand in an unnecessary, instinctive reflex, which he had never managed to shake off. All he needed to do, after all, was narrow his pupils into vertical slits. It's late, said Nanak, opening the shutters. You've slept in. Off with you, Lola. The girl sat up suddenly and leant out of bed to take her mantle from the floor. Gerald felt a trickle of cool saliva on his shoulder, where her lips had been a moment ago. Wait, he said hesitantly. She looked at him, quickly turned around. She had changed. There was nothing of the water nymph in her anymore. Nothing of the luminous, chamomile-scented apparition she had been at dawn. Her eyes were blue, not black, and she had freckles on her nose. Her neckline, her shoulders. They weren't unattractive. They suited her complexion and reddish hair, but he hadn't seen them at dawn, when she had been his dream. With shame, he realized he felt resentment towards her, resentment that she hadn't remained a dream, and that he would never forgive himself for it. Charlotte says, listening to your stream while making my bed, ain't doing late night study session today. Bit frustrated. Oh gosh, well, it's always good to have some breaks. It's always nice to. You shouldn't spend all your time studying. Just look over things and then close your eyes and relax. Kuiper says, he also did one with David Hayter, who played Solid Snake in Metal Gear Solid, I'm guessing. I love David. He's the reason I started to mimic characters and do impressions. That's cool, that's cool. Meow, meow. Wait, he repeated. Lola, I wanted. Don't speak to her, Gerald, said Nanak. She won't answer you anyway. Off with you, Lola. Wrapped in her mantle, the girl pattered towards the door, her bare feet slapping the floor, troubled, flushed, awkwardly, no longer reminding him in any way of Yennefer. Nanak, he said, reaching for his shirt. I hope you're not annoyed that you won't punish her, will you? Fool, the priestess nodded. You've forgotten where you are. This is neither a hermitage nor a convent. It's Melitel's temple. Our goddess doesn't forbid our priestesses anything. Almost. You forbade me to talk to her. I didn't forbid you, but I know it's pointless. Lola doesn't speak. What? She doesn't speak. She's taken a vow. It's a sort of sacrifice through which... Oh, what's the point of explaining? You wouldn't understand anyway. You wouldn't even try to understand. I know your views on religion. No, don't get dressed yet. I want to check your neck. She sat on the edge of the bed and skillfully unwound the linen bandages wrapped thickly around the witch's neck. He grimaced in pain. As soon as he had arrived in Elendar, the neck had removed the painfully thick stitches of shoemaker's twine with which they had stitched him in Wiseham, opened the wound and dressed it again. The results were clear. He had arrived at the temple almost cured, if perhaps a little stiff. Now he was sick again, and in pain. But he didn't protest. Oh, Senate says, one question. What is this story about? We have just started the story, so I'm not exactly sure, but it is called The Witcher. And the main character appears to be called Gerald, and he is just turned a monster back into a princess, and he had his neck ripped open, but now he's getting healing for it. But yes, we're at like 10% through, so not much progress. I hope you're enjoying it so far. Now he was sick again and in pain, but didn't protest. He'd known the priestess for years and knew how great was her knowledge of healing, how rich and comprehensive her pharmacy was. A course of treatment at Melitel's temple could do nothing but good. Nanek felt the wound, washed it, and began to curse. He already knew this routine by heart. She had started on the very first day, and had never failed to moan when she saw the marks left by the Princess of Wiseham's talons. It's terrible to let yourself be slashed like this by an ordinary streaker. Muscles, tendons. She only just missed your carotid artery. Great Melitel, Gerald, what's happening to you? How did she get so close to you? What did you want with her? To mount her? He didn't answer and smiled faintly. Don't grin like an idiot. The priestess arose and took a pad of dressings from the chest of drawers. Despite her weight and low stature, she moved swiftly and gracefully. There's nothing funny about it. You're using your reflexes, Gerald. You're exaggerating. I'm not exaggerating at all. The neck spread a greenish mush smelling sharply of eucalyptus over the wound. You shouldn't have allowed yourself to get wounded, but you did. And very seriously at that. Fatally even. And even with your exceptional powers of regeneration, it'll be months before your neck is fully mobile again. I warn you, don't test your strength by fighting an agile opponent during that time. Thank you for the warning. Perhaps you could give me some advice too. How am I supposed to live in the meantime? Rally a few girls, buy a cart, and organize a traveling house of ill repute? Nanek shrugged, bandaging his neck with quick, deft movements. Am I supposed to give you advice and teach you how to live? Am I your mother or something? Right, that's done. You can get dressed. Breakfast waiting for you in the refectory. Hurry up or you'll have to make it yourself. And I don't intend to keep the girls in the kitchen to midday. Where will I find you later? In the sanctuary? No. Nanek got up. Not in the sanctuary. You're a welcome guest here, Witcher. But don't hang around in the sanctuary. Go for a walk and I'll find you myself. Fine. And that is the end of that section. Typhus says, Susan Agara said that the animators modeled Megara after the actress Barbara Stanwyck. Oh, I've never heard of that. I'm horrible with names, so I probably won't know most actors and actresses' names. I don't watch much either. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. I agree with you, Snitson. Let's continue. Geralt strolled, for the fourth time, along the popular alley which led from the gate to the dwellings. Sorry, I'm yawning. Well, along the popular alley which led from the gate to the dwellings by the sanctuary and main temple block, which merged into the sheer rock. After brief consideration, he decided against returning to shelter and turned towards the gardens and outbuildings. Umpteen priestesses, clad in grey working garments, were toiling away, weeding the beds and feeding the birds in the hen houses. The majority of them were young, or very young, virtually children. Some greeted him with a nod or a smile in passing. He answered their greetings, but didn't recognize any of them. Although he often visited the temple, once or twice a year, he never saw more than 3 or 4 faces he knew. The girls came and went, becoming oracles in other temples, midwives and healers specializing in women's and children's diseases, wandering druids, teachers, or governesses. But there was never a shortage of priestesses arriving from all over, even in the remotest regions. Now Melitel's temple in Elander was well known and enjoyed well-earned fame. Charlotte says, "Thanks a lot for your streams. Gotta take care, gotta sleep early today. Bye. Bye bye. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope stream helped you relax a bit and sleep well." The cult of Melital was one of the oldest and, in its day, one of the most widespread cults from time immemorial. Practically every pre-human race and every prima, primordial, primordial nomadic human tribe honored a goddess of harvest and fertility, a guardian of farmers and gardeners, a patroness of love and marriage. Many of these religions merged into the cult of Melital, time which was quite pitiless towards other cults and religions, effectively isolating them and forgotten, rarely visited little temples and oratories buried amongst urban buildings, had proved merciful to Melitel. She did not lack either followers or sponsors. In explaining the popularity of the goddess, learned men who studied this phenomenon used to hark back to the pre-cults of the Great Mother, Mother Nature, and pointed the links with nature's cycle, with the rebirth of life and other grandiloquently named phenomena. Geralt's friend, the tropical dandelion, who enjoyed a reputation as a specialist in every possible field, looked for simpler explanations. Melitel's cult, he deduced, was a typical woman's cult. Hi, Shiv. Thank you, I appreciate it. Melitel was, after all, the patroness of fertility and birth. She was the guardian of midwives, and a woman in labor has to scream. Apart from the usual cries, usually promising never to give herself to any bloody man again in her life, a woman in labor has to call upon some godhead for help. And Melitel was perfect. And since women give birth, and will continue to give birth, the goddess Melitel, the poet proved, did not have to fear for her popularity. Gerald? Nanak, I was looking for you. Me? The priestess looked at him knockingly. Not Lola? Lola too, he admitted. Does that bother you? Right now, yes. I don't want you to get in her way and distract her. She's got to get herself ready and pray if something's to come off this chance. I've already told you, he said coldly. I don't want any trance. I don't think a trance will help me in any way. While I, Nanek winced, don't think a trance will harm you in any way. I can't be hypnotized. I have immunity. I'm afraid for Lola, it might be too great an effort for a medium. Lola isn't a medium or mentally ill soothsayer. That child enjoys the goddess's favor. Don't pull silly faces, if you please. As I say, your view on religion is known to me. It's never particularly bothered me, and no doubt it won't bother me in the future. I'm not a fanatic. Meow, meow. What? Sorry, I'm a bit confused about what you're saying, Citizen. La best stream for chain? Huh? What? Chain? What do you mean? I'm a bit confused, sorry. I can't stop yawning. Oh my gosh. Chain is the Roblox game. Oh, thank you for letting me know. Sorry, I didn't know. Thank you. Right, right. What's Chain about? Is it good? Oh, Kaiba Solid Snake was based off of the character Poliskin Snake played by Kurt Russell. In fact, in something too, the name Iroquois Poliskin was used as a code name by Solid Snake to hide his identity. Very cool, very cool. I always find these things interesting, but then I just like know that I'm gonna forget them after like after a day. You've a right to believe we're governed by nature and the force hidden within that. You can think that the gods, including my Melitel, are merely a personification of this power invented for simpletons so they can understand it better. Accept its existence, according to you. That power is blind. But for me, Gerald, faith allows you to expect what my goddess personifies from nature, order, law, goodness, and hope. I know. If you know it, then why your reservations about the chance? What are you afraid of? That I'll make you bow your head to a statue and sing canticles? Gerald, we'll simply sit together for a while. You, me, and Lola. And see if the girl's talents will let you see into the vortex of power surrounding you. Maybe we'll discover something worth knowing. And maybe we won't discover anything. Maybe the power and fate surrounding you won't choose to reveal themselves to us, will remain hidden and incomprehensible. I don't know, but why shouldn't we try? Because there's no point. I'm not surrounded by any vortex of fate, and if I were, why the hell would I dive into it? Gerald, you're sick. Injured, you mean? I know what I mean. There's something not quite right with you. I can sense that. After all, I have known you ever since you were a youngster. When I met you, you came up to my waist, and now I feel that you're spinning around in some damned whirlpool, tangled up in a slowly tightening noose, and I want to know what's happening. I can't do it myself. I have to count on Lola's gift. You want to delve too deeply? Why the metaphysics? I'll confide in you if you like. I'll fill your evenings with tales of ever more astounding events from the past few years. Get a keg of beer so my throat doesn't dry up and we can start today. But I fear I'll bore you because you won't find any nooses or vortexes there. Just a witch's ordinary tale. Meow meow. Kaiba says, do you want to play a game? It'll be fun. I'll write down a dialogue said by a character, and you'll have to guess who said it. I'll give you options. I think it would be fun if I was a person who knew, like, any characters. But for me, I don't know characters' names. So it really wouldn't go well. Yeah, that wouldn't go well. I'm sorry. I can, I might play like a different game on stream though later today. But I don't know. I'm really exhausted. I think I'm gonna end stream in a bit. Or I could play a game. Who knows? We'll see. I'll willingly listen to them, but a trance, I repeat, will do no harm. Don't you think, he smiled, that my lack of faith makes such a trance pointless? No, I don't, and do you know why? No. Ineka leant over and looked him in the eyes with a strange smile on her pale lips. Because it would be the first proof I've ever heard of that a lack of faith is any power at all. And that is the end of that section. You know, I think you're lucky, right? I think I might play a game. I think that's all that I'll read for today. I'm tired after all. Okay, well, thank you for the water shade. I appreciate it. Okay, what should we play? What should we play? I'm thinking we play. Wait, oh my gosh, I just realized. Thank you so much for the robe and tofu, and it's I didn't know I can't check it because my PC like crashes out. But I just saw it on thing. Hi Sheeta. I could you home? Yeah, no, no. I went back to streaming. Really did miss streaming when when I didn't when I was away on holiday. Hold on, I don't know how to. I don't think there's a way for me to. What do you call it? Does anyone know how to change like the category on the clock app in the title? I'm not quite sure. Wait, I'll try and figure it out. Okay, let's start getting the game booted up. Hopefully it'll go okay. Hi, Sizeman. How you doing today? Try examination. Oh, wait, is that another game on Roblox? Hi, someone. Oh, you just missed Witching. You just missed The Witcher. I've just finished reading. Gabby says, love your streams. I'm gonna miss you. Don't worry. Don't worry. I don't know. I don't know. I'll be doing a silly bit of games for a while. But I don't think my computer can handle the games. I don't know. Okay, let me figure out how to do examination. No, it's not add songs. It's not cast. Enhance, dynamic effects, record, highlight. Oh no, that's audio mixer. There's a pause live and an end live button. But that doesn't seem to be. Or doesn't let me change my topic during live. That's unfortunate. Well, I guess, wait, live info. Oh, I can edit. Here we go. I found it. There we go. Um, let's see if I can get this working. Edit. Come on, please work. Oh no, it just closes it when I try and. Yeah, it just closes it when I try and change it. Um, that's and I don't think I don't wait. First, I gotta see if my computer can actually boot up the game. Let's search up examination, shall we? Okay. Otherwise, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, it's not, my computer can barely run like opening the Roblox. Yeah, of course. I'll put my where is that? There's my little Roblox thing. There we go. I can't send friend requests, but I can like what do you call it? Accept them. Because like I have wait no, just send me your username. That's better because I can sort of. Oh wait, examination is a PvE horror shooter. We are tasked to clear a highly eradicated nuclear facility that's turned into a affection. Let's see if my computer can boot it up. Please work, PC. Come on, PC, you got this. I'm just like praying to my ancestors that it boots up right now. Uh, oh gosh, Sheeta just redeemed 20 squats, GG's bro. Okay, so unfortunate news, my computer is not even booting up Roblox. This is great. Just what I wanted. Hold on, let's see if I can do it a different way since it's not working from here. Oh gosh, and now I've got the live inactivity thing. Shit. Okay. So basically my clock app, I apologize for. Oh, my ears. How do I stop it? Shit. I think my clock eye will end soon since it doesn't let me verify my shit because you're cooked and I know I'm cooked. My computer's not working. I'm tired. I'm dropping 1,000 frames. My Roblox is completely white. Uh, shit is not. The shit is not working. Holy. I think my TikTok stream's gonna crash because my computer can't handle. Yeah, I just it says live will end in we've detected inactivity during your current live, complete verification. But it doesn't let me complete the verification because my PC is so laggy. It can't handle the like loading the verification thing. So yeah, I'm so laggy that countdown isn't even going down. Holy. Thank you for the watch, Akihiro. Such skies of Arcadia Fanny on your phone, bro. Alright, I'll do that now real quick. Uh don't worry guys, I only have 3,000 dropped frames. It's okay. Fina skies of Arcadia Fina. Oh, she is a pretty character design. Okay, my computer can't handle Roblox. It's been on the Roblox loading screen for like a while. Yeah, my computer won't run this, bro. I'm sorry. But yeah, the clock up is gonna end soon since yeah, it's not working. So I apologize for anyone on the clock up. My computer screen has completely frozen. So I am genuinely unable to even close shit. But I will be streaming on the Babel app at Sin Solace if you want to join from there. Oh gosh. Everything's frozen. It did not like me booting up Roblox. Okay, let me try and close Roblox client. It's not letting me close anything, and I'm too laggy to open up Task Manager. Okay, I have 4,000 dropped frames. Okay, this is great. Shit isn't closing. Shit isn't opening. My whole screen is frozen. I don't know if you guys can even still hear me. Am I talking to myself? I can't see chat, so I'll just do the 20 squats now. I think that's all I really can do. Oh gosh. This is not working. Wait, maybe I can open on Task Manager. I can do this. Hello, hello, hello. My task manager, please work. My whole screen's frozen. Loki, nothing is working. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna have to end stream. If you can hear me, I'm ending stream. Thank you all for tuning in, and I'm sorry for that shit didn't work out. But bye bye, thank you. I hope to see you all tomorrow.